save. With us is Brad Huffman, certified financial planner from Future Finances, and we are saving a different way, turning our savings plan upside down.
Exactly, yeah. Budget is, almost a dirty word.
It is.
You know, and I hate to say it because many people just immediately, the ears are off, you know, they're glazed. And you have to find different ways to do it, because if you don't, you're not going to get anything done. At the end of the day, you're back to zero again.
It's hard, Brett. I have a budgeting book at home that's getting dust on it because there's so much. I mean, bottom line is we all say we need to save, and we try.
Exactly.
I think we sincerely try, but we fail a lot.
Is it because we're waiting? The savings is the last thing we do.
It is. Okay. Yeah. We're thinking, well, I'll save whatever's left over.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about you, but even for me personally, if it's in the account, it's going to get spent.
Sure.
It's just the way it happens. We're just human. It finds a way to go away. So you've got to really change the model.
Okay.
And I've got some markers here, so I'm going to kind of display my my art skills here. So traditional budget, you're going to get these are dollar signs, by the way.
They are.
Okay. Diapers,
so there's
Taco Bell.
There's your expenses.
Right.
Everything's going out the door.
Okay.
You've got all those fun little things you can spend money on.
Well, and then the unexpected expenses that pop up for me every month.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
so
a trip to the dock.
And then down here, if you're lucky, there might be something left over for saving. Well, this just doesn't happen a lot because this takes up everything.
Yeah.
So what we need to do basically is this, okay? The expenses are still there. The savings is there, but now it's first. And the reason it has to be is like we just talked about. If you wait till the end, it's just not going to be there. And it happens over and over and over again. And every day you think, I'm going to change it.
Sure.
Well, the best thing to do is this, exactly.
So is this kind of this is the simple pay yourself first?
This is the pay yourself first, okay? Instead of waiting, again, for the end of the month to move the money over, you do it right away. And there's a few basic steps. So there's a little homework at the beginning, but the long-term reward is pretty significant.
Show us those steps.
So the first thing you want to do is take a serious look at what you're spending.
Okay.
So here's where budgeting kind of comes in, but really you're just looking, you're just observing. Spend a month or two just looking at what you're spending money on.
Okay.
And be thorough about it. Haircuts, Taco Bell, the donut sandwich in the morning, whatever you're spending money on, document it, write it down.
So I did this once, and I think this is where I got stuck, actually, because when you start really writing it down, I mean, you think about your basic bills, but then it was all the things I forgot about, like dog food, and I mean, there are a million little
And really,
things.
if you're using a debit or credit card, use that as your guideline. You don't need to identify every little penny, but you just need to have a number to work with. I'm spending X amount on the Visa card, X amount on the pet supply, whatever the case may be. So the next thing you want to do is take a serious look at that. Bring in a spouse or a partner that have to be part of this, and look at what you don't need to spend money on.
Okay.
You need to go to Taco Bell 3 times a day. Well, okay, maybe not 4 times a day.
Maybe that dog is eating too much.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Get rid of the dog, keep the Taco Bell. No, I'm kidding.
But go through and look at what you don't need. Okay. Look at where the prudent cuts can be made, and be pretty thorough about this, because again, this is not irrevocable. You can change your mind down the road, but do that. Next step is add up all of those things that you think you can cut. Figure out, after your income comes in, those prudent cuts are made, what's left over. This is your magic number. This is your savings number, and it has to be a specific number. It's not going to be, well, it might be this. It has to be something. Is it 50? Is it 100? Is it 300 a month? I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Find out what it is. Next thing is, and this is the most important part, create a separate account. Not your regular checking account, not your regular savings, a completely segregated account from everything else that you use to spend money on. Exactly. Now, what you're going to do, just like we did here, we're putting the savings first. So if it was $200, $200 goes out, bam, as soon as you get paid. It's out of that account. Now, spend the rest that's in the account. It should get close to zero. If you did your job, what happens when you get to zero is you're done spending money. In continuing this process, and if something happens, the car blows up, the dryer stops drying, you can always look at that other account as a resource. But the goal really is move it out right away. Take it out. I mean, I've done this for many years, and it works great. And many times my checking account is zero by the end of the month. That means I'm done. Now, hopefully, before you get to zero, you've paid your mortgage, you've paid your electric bill, the lights are staying on. But you really need to do this, because you're not going to sit down and say, okay, I'm only allowed to spend $50 on entertainment. People don't do that. Now, if you can do it, great. I personally don't even do that. I know what I need to save. I move it out. Now, if you get paid weekly, twice a month, now maybe you need to adopt it. So if it's $200, maybe it's $100 per pay. And I would suggest a couple things to make it simple. One is, if you have direct deposit through work, have that money directly deposited from your paycheck into that other account. The rest of it can go into your checking.
Okay.
Split it out right away. If you don't, what I do is I have a sweep coming from my checking account, sweeps the money over to the special savings account so that it happens automatically. The more you're involved, the more it requires you to do something, the less likely it's going to get done.
Great
You need it to happen without your involvement.
It's your gift to yourself.
Exactly.
You know, and I always say, you know, why are you working? What are you working for?
Yeah.
Not to have.
And you're not locked in.
left.
You're not locked in. If you're wrong, you were too aggressive on your savings goal, you get to change it.
Adjust it,
But you've got to do it. If you think, oh, I'm going to save, it's not going to happen. It just isn't going to happen. You have to have something systematic, simple, and it's, again, not that difficult to put in place.
Brad, thank you. Brad Huffman with his tough love, but you're always so nice about it.
Sure. Have to be.
Well.
It's money. Money's good.
You leave Sean in tears, but
That's
great to
okay.
see you. Really great strategies.
Absolutely.
My wine budget just got shot.
Yeah.
This will be good for the world. All right.
Liver will love you now.
Coming up, an actress taking a major move, a major career change.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Coming up at 9:30 on Good Day Columbus, why Justine Bateman decided to go back to school at age 47.
Yeah, have you ever made a wild, wild change in your life? We'll discuss coming up.